Welcome to 3D Learning. The topic for this series is gold. The story is about Yukon Gold Rush. This is video 1. This is a flipped learning class, so students should watch the 10 videos and prepare for the debate. It follows the book you can download from the internet on the website. So there are many gold rushes over the many centuries. Gold really attracts people. And what are the cost, benefits, and downsides of this rush for glory? How can we balance the responsibility of desire with reasonable decisions and prices? That's the question. You have lots of people when the gold rush, the prices go high, and people go broke, people go crazy. How can we balance that out? The debate will focus on that idea, and the next videos will help students get there through systematic, step-by-step thinking, critical thinking, reading, and other ideas. Are you ready? Let's go. First, a disclaimer: because all rights for the original story go to the publisher and the author, they did the work and they own the rights to that. I just rewrote it, and there's no guarantee the article is maintained on the URL given. So, because it's a URL, it's not owned by me, and it can change anytime. This section discovers what is known and what information needs to be expanded. Discovery is the first of 3 Ds. The 3 Ds are discovery, discussion, and debate. So we'll do a little bit of discovery, and then we'll have a little bit of discussion, and then we will prepare for the debate. And all that information that you get in discovery is very important for the debate. All the information that you prepare in the beginning, through the discussion and discovery, maybe you will change the information or the way you present it because of the debate. But it is always there, so it's easy. Building a larger umbrella to cover the topic allows the door of critical thinking to open and the size of the umbrella to enlarge. The umbrella is like here, it's closed, and it doesn't cover anything. We can't see really what's inside the umbrella. But as we open the umbrella of our mind to explore and discover ideas, we find it's really quite an interesting idea. So the umbrella opens, and those spines, those spines that you have, and the fabric in the middle here, those spines will be those channels of information that you put everything into. And we're going to make them. And so when you make those little spines, those ideas, you can find the information very quickly because it goes into this category. So that's what building an umbrella and making it large enough to include all kinds of ideas. That's what discovery is about. Developing an argument requires a focus of information to base the initial statement on, yet broad enough to push the idea into current thought and culture. As you discover and you discuss and begin preparing for your debate, all this information needs a center point, and that's the story, the vocabulary, and the statements, the arguments for and against that you will research and find and put into your statement for debate. So there are many places where we're going to make statements, and then you're going to build on those statements. At the debate, you might change the statement a little bit because you have 2 teams and you have to agree on it. But you will have all the information to quickly make your debate, to make those adjustments at that point. So we have many statements, but it has to be about today. What is true about the Yukon Rush, which is very old, in the early 1900s, but it is the same today. What is the same today? That was the same last century, and over the centuries before. So current thought is, this is an old story from 1900s, but today's thinking hasn't changed much, I don't think. The discovery phase requires students to present what they know. What do you know? What do you know about gold rushes? What do you know about rushes? You know, there's lots of rushes, many kinds of stories we can find. So with a teacher or with a guide, the discovery is expanded to expand to a broader range of ideas. You still have only 5 categories, or maybe an umbrella might have 8 spines. You still have that categories, but in between and underneath you have a big range of ideas. And the more you open it, the range gets bigger and bigger, because this fabric in the middle, right here, the fabric, now if it's closed, it's hiding, and you want to bring it out, and as you do it, you see lots of different ideas here that you can have. So that's why it's like an umbrella. The initial discussion will be used later as building blocks for exploration and references. Building blocks come from ideas generated from discovery. So you take all that discovery that you have, all that new idea, and you put them into chunks of information we call building blocks. And teams, because debate is about teamwork, uses blocks of information to tie the defense of the argument together. So you're going to take those building blocks just like Lego, and you're going to put them together so that you have a really nice structure for your argument. Students require attentiveness. You have to pay attention, because you want to take notes at every stage. Every time you get together, every time you do research, you want to take notes. Always keep a pen and paper handy. A little notebook would be really great. Or if you do it on your phone, always type in who said it and what key idea was said. Then when you go back and argue, you have something to argue. You can say, oh, I disagree. But disagree is nice, but most people don't like disagreeing. They like agreeing. Everything is agree, yes, 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 but not too many disagree. So you have to come to this idea with, I'm going to challenge, I'm going to disagree, and that might be difficult, but always disagree, but not only disagree, have some statement or some information of why you disagree. Disagreeing is easy, but having something to support your disagreement, that takes a little bit of work. And so that's what we want, because we are asking students and always constantly review and challenge the team, challenge each other, and when you say something, disagree. But don't only disagree, always add more information to support it. The team, consisting of several people, and a good debate team maybe is 4 or 5 people. If you have larger, it becomes more difficult, and it builds blocks of information to be tied to other information for both defense and rebuttal. Rebuttal is the opposition. It is imperative, it's important to note there is never too much information. The challenge, however, is to keep all that information organized so you can quickly review it and give a response. Not only disagree, but you have that information you can quickly access in your response. Reading titles, where we start, for information, and speeds research, allowing specific information to be found quickly and stored in a file folder. That means that when you are reading, when you are researching, titles are important. And we're going to look at later titles and vocabulary, words that you want to look specific to your point of view. You might disagree or you might agree, but you want to find information that will support what you agree or disagree with. And how do you find that? You can find lots of, there's just millions of stories. And how do you find the information for you and your argument? The title and your word search will make a much quicker way to find exactly what you want and the arguments for what you are going to present. Discovery is where the mass of ideas is flushed out and discussed without barriers, requiring strong brainstorming skills. Flushed out, the opposite is hiding, hidden. So the information is not always hidden, but you have to find it in the article. So you want to bring it forward, you want to bring it out, and you want to copy and paste maybe into a document, but you want to remember where did you find it. And the title or the URL, the website, the blog, wherever you find it, you need to keep track of that. And brainstorming is, how do you brainstorm? How do you want to add information, so you have to start thinking about what kind of arguments are we going to use. And in your reading, if everybody does a little bit of reading and share the reading idea, you will find arguments and you can bring them to the discussion. It's at this point the foundation is made to support the statement. So you have to decide, what are you going to defend, or what kind of ideas do you find? What kind of arguments for and against? And you're going to be challenged every video to find new information. And that's what we want to do from this point on. In this book, the book is downloadable. You will find the initial story provides the base point. The initial story, the story that is chosen for this, gives you that foundation of information. That's the base. That's the bottom line. And from there you build higher. In other arguments, the statement may come first. Some arguments, the statement comes first. We're going to start with a title. We're going to look at discussion with questions. And then we're going to start making statements. This would assume a level of critical thinking, which is very important. You're not reading for vocabulary. You're not reading for a lot of things. You're reading for argument. So every time you read, when you read a story, if you are researching, you read for the argument. Find the arguments. Don't find all kinds of extra information. Look for the argument. And that's what we want to do. That's critical thinking, critical reading. And so the story is the whetstone. It's the sharpening stone. It's that before you start, you have to sharpen the knife so that you can cut your tomato without any, you can cut those really nice slices, very thin slices. If you have a dull knife, you have to cut thick slices because you can't do it. So the whetstone is like the sharpening stone for development of your idea. Sharpening means you're getting ready, you're sharpening your ideas, you're thinking a little bit narrow. Now you're thinking big, you want to narrow down. And that's the whetstone. Okay, whet means sharpen. Skills developed and used in the discovery phase are note-taking, question asking, critical thinking, reading, and speaking. And that's what we want to do. Note-taking is very important. Question asking is also a key. Asking good questions gets you the information you want, and we're going to work on that, how to do that. Critical thinking and reading. Reading gives you that information, but read critically. What kind of argument? Do I agree or disagree with the author? and speaking, which you will do in class and during the preparation every week. I hope you are motivated. I hope you're excited. And if you're a little nervous, you're only normal. Join me with the next video as we start the journey to the debate.